The reason why you're automatically defensive is because you're trying to prove to the other person that what you're saying matters. Hi, my name is Coach Jeanette from @Jeanette_the and if you like anything personal development or healthy relationships, make sure you hit subscribe and join the tribe. In this video, I'm going to be talking about why you get so defensive in your relationships, the wound underneath your defensiveness, and mindset shifts you need in order to break out of the cycle. So if you get defensive right away, make sure you watch to the end to catch those mindset shifts. Now, the most common thing that I see within a lot of people who are naturally defensive, is that they have this wall up and they feel the need to constantly protect themselves. Whether it's a wound of I matter, what you're saying is wrong, I'm not incompetent, I'm not stupid. You're trying to prove yourself to the other person that what they're saying about you is wrong. But in certain situations, sometimes what the other person is saying about you is not necessarily a negative thing, but we're just perceiving it as a negative thing. For example, maybe you told your boyfriend about your plans of your new successful business that you want to open, all the steps that you want to take, what you're going to invest in, and instead of immediately saying, oh my goodness, that's an amazing job, maybe they start questioning you a little bit. Maybe they start saying something like, oh, well, have you thought about the cost, and etc, 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 and you perceive that as, wow, they think I'm incompetent, they think I'm stupid, they don't think I'm good enough to start my business. When in reality, maybe they're asking those questions because they care about you. They want to make sure that you do have a successful business, they're rooting for you, and that is just their natural process when they're problem solving. Now, I'm not saying one person is wrong or one person's right. However, what I'm saying is that a lot of times in communication, we're constantly assuming things and then applying meaning to it, which causes miscommunication. For you, maybe you shared those business plans with them because you were looking for validation, you were looking for approval, and you weren't looking for someone to question or problem solve. And for them, maybe they're perceiving it as, well, I want to make sure that their business is successful, I want to make sure they get everything done. I'm just going to ask them questions that I probably would want to ask myself if I'm doing something like this. Or maybe they are projecting their limiting beliefs. They think, wow, this is something so ambitious, I can never imagine myself doing it, and if I did even try it or attempt it, I'm gonna ask myself these questions because I'm afraid, and they're coming from a place of fear. Regardless of whatever it is, we want to make sure we're not internalizing their actions and thoughts to mean something about us, because that meaning that we're taking personally and applying it to us is only fueling that defensiveness. Because once you feel those wounds come up, you feel the need to protect yourself from them. So maybe you lash out, or maybe you shut down, or maybe you get passive aggressive. And if this sounds like you, comment down below a heart to show that you're not alone. Because I've definitely been here before, and I know it's not pretty. And you might even feel guilty afterwards for reacting this way. Because the truth is, you're not reacting from a place of calm and peace, you're reacting from a place of emotional turbulence. And sometimes the closest people around us don't always see the best sides of us. But as long as y'all can work on it together, that's okay. We learn and we grow, and that's part of being in a healthy relationship. But instead of getting defensive right away and feeling the need to yell or scream, take a second to step back. And number one, don't take what they said personally. You can watch my video right here to stop taking things personally and learn more in depth about how to start being unbothered. And number two, be okay with being misunderstood. When we feel the need to be defensive, over-explain, or prove ourselves, we most likely have this wound of not wanting to feel misunderstood. However, not everyone is going to understand us, and that's okay. Sometimes it's okay to not have everyone understand you because maybe they just don't have the capacity to. Of course, if it is your significant other and you want to feel understood, make sure you make that your priority coming into that disagreement. And when you're prioritizing feeling seen, heard, understood, this can look like making sure that the other person knows your intentions coming into the relationship. Maybe you can tell them, hey, I'm sharing this to you not because I want you to problem solve, I just want you to listen and validate how I'm feeling. Maybe you can let them know, hey, I don't really have that much energy right now to talk, can you save this for later? I'll make sure to respond when I have more energy. Or it can even be, hey, I'm not saying this to attack you right now, but this is something important that I want you to just listen to. And the more you're clear, concise, and specific about how you're feeling, why you're feeling it, the less room there is for miscommunication. But with that said, let's talk about some of the mindset shifts that you want to start internalizing to make sure that you're not being defensive right away. Which is number one, screaming and yelling is not the only way to feel seen, heard, and understood. The truth is, sometimes walking away or being okay with them not agreeing with every single little thing that you think about is okay. Sometimes it's okay to disagree and just coexist with each other, especially if it's small disagreements. Of course, if it's big disagreements like values or fundamental issues, issues, that's something maybe you want to talk about a little bit more in depth, and there might be a compatibility disagreement. But especially with strangers or people that you don't really know that much, walking away is another way of showing yourself that you are choosing to see, hear, and understand yourself, because you are not wasting your time trying to prove to someone that this is who you are when they have no interest in getting to understand that. And the second mindset shift is that everyone has different perceptions. Like I mentioned in that scenario in the beginning, not catastrophizing and thinking about the worst case scenario and taking everything personally is the key to stop being so defensive right away. So instead of focusing on proving your point, focus on understanding how the other person is perceiving that situation. Because like I always say, your perception creates your reality. And the last mindset shift to take is that you don't need anyone else's approval if you've already approved of yourself. If you already feel secure within yourself and you believe that what you're saying is true, regardless of other people's opinions of whether or not you can succeed in your business, you know that you're gonna take it to the next level. Focus on that. Because when you feel so secure and confident and focusing on building that energy within yourself, you are no longer expending that energy outwards and just wasting your time trying to prove something to someone when they might not necessarily want to hear it. Having that calm confidence and knowing that that's who you are, and regardless of whether or not people might believe you, that's okay, that's their loss. If they don't want to believe it, you are still going to be true to yourself. That is the utmost confidence that you can have to embody a healthy relationship, because you are creating a healthy relationship within yourself. But with that said, I hope this helped. Comment down below if any of these points resonated with you, and make sure to like and subscribe and follow for more for next week's video. But as always, you got this.